Who doesn't know PlayStation? Since its debut back in 1994, PlayStation has been a huge part of gaming history. From living rooms to global tournaments, Sony's consoles have always been there for gamers. So, let's take a ride through the evolution of PlayStation, from the very first PS1 all the way to the PS5. Welcome to Hello Game Channel. This is where it all began. The very first PlayStation came out in 1994 and completely changed gaming with 3D graphics. Classics like Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII, and Tekken were born here. With over 100 million units sold, PS1 became a true legend. Fun fact: the PS1 almost never existed. Sony originally worked with Nintendo on a console, but after they split, Sony decided to go solo. The result? The PlayStation we know today. Not many people remember this one, but in 1999, Sony released the PocketStation. It looked like a tiny memory card with an LCD screen and mini-games. It was more popular in Japan, but it marked Sony's first step into handheld gaming. Fun fact: the PocketStation could connect with certain PS1 games, like Final Fantasy VIII, unlocking hidden content and mini-games. Then came the PlayStation 2 in the year 2000. Not only was it a powerful console, it also doubled as a DVD player, which was a big deal back then. With hits like GTA, San Andreas, God of War, and Gran Turismo, the PS2 went on to become the best-selling console of all time, with over 155 million units sold. Fun fact: for many people, the PS2 was their very first DVD player, making it a must-have even for non-gamers.
The internet is now and forever. So all of us here can be playing a video game or a tournament on the internet.
Are the graphics on this dramatically better than anything?
Dramatically, almost real.
In 2004, Sony entered the handheld war with the PlayStation Portable, or PSP. With its wide screen, great 3D graphics, and even the ability to watch movies, it felt like a console in your pocket. Games like Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, God of War, Chains of Olympus, and Monster Hunter made it a fan favorite. Fun fact: the PSP could also play UMD movies, and at one point, there were Hollywood films released exclusively on PSP discs. Next up, the PlayStation 3 in 2006. It brought Blu-ray discs, online gaming with PlayStation Network, and some seriously epic titles like Uncharted, Metal Gear Solid 4,
Who is left in control?
and The Last of Us.
Everything happens for a reason.
Even though it had a rough start with the price, the PS3 still sold over 80 million units. Fun fact: the PS3's cell processor was so powerful that even NASA used a cluster of PS3s for scientific research. Following the PSP, Sony launched the PlayStation Vita in 2011.
What you've come to know as NGP, our next generation portable, is officially named PlayStation Vita.
It had a gorgeous OLED screen, touch controls, and console-like graphics on the go. Games like Persona 4, Golden, and Uncharted, Golden Abyss were amazing.
You know this says keep up.
Yeah, I know that. We got special permission.
And there below the throne of the morning star, a golden abyss to guard the gate to heaven.
But sadly, the Vita never got the sales it deserved. In 2013, Sony came back strong with the PlayStation 4. Sleek design, powerful hardware, and a focus on gamers and communities made it a huge success. With blockbuster titles like Bloodborne, Marvel's Spider-Man,
You're Spider-Man.
Look, next time, leave the fighting to the pros.
and God of War 2018, the PS4 sold over 100 million units worldwide. 3 years later, Sony dropped the PS4 Pro, an upgraded version of the console built for 4K gaming and better performance. It wasn't a new generation, but it gave gamers a taste of high-resolution graphics before the PS5 came along. Fun fact, the PS4 Pro was one of the first consoles to embrace 4K TVS, making it a must-have for gamers chasing the sharpest visuals at the time. And then came the PlayStation 5 in 2020. With its lightning-fast SSD, ray tracing, and the amazing DualSense controller, it pushed gaming into a whole new era. Titles like Demon's Souls Remake, Horizon Forbidden West, and Spider-Man 2 really showed its power. Fun fact, at launch, the PS5 was so hard to find that scalpers resold it for double or even triple the price. 3 years later, Sony released the PS5 Slim. It's basically the same PS5 on the inside, but lighter, smaller, and easier to fit in your setup. For gamers who wanted the same power in a more compact design, the Slim was the way to go. Fun fact, the PS5 Slim replaced the original model in production, meaning if you buy a brand new PS5 today, it's most likely the Slim version. In 2023 also, Sony introduced the PlayStation Portal, a handheld made to stream your PS5 games over Wi-Fi. Fun fact, the PS Portal only works if you already own a PS5, making it the very first PlayStation handheld that doesn't play games natively. And in 2024, Sony launched the PS5 Pro. Built for 8K support and boosted performance, it's designed for gamers who want the absolute best visuals and smoother gameplay. Fun fact, the PS5 Pro focuses heavily on ray tracing and AI upscaling, making even older games look sharper and smoother than ever. From the tiny PocketStation to the powerhouse PS5, PlayStation has shaped the way we play for over 25 years. So, which generation of PlayStation is your favorite? Drop it down in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gaming content.